Welcome back to the North American Challenger Cup scene. Boom Squad versus the Rambozos is the match we're going to be taking a look at. By the way, brackets have been updated. Previously, they were a little problematic. We've gone ahead and fixed that. The link for the brackets are available in the chat. You can find that out on Challenge. So right now, we're going to be taking a look at the round of not three.
16.
It is round 3, the round of 16.
There we go.
I have historically had problems with how brackets work. I am basic. If it's not gold or experience, I do not understand. So, taking a look at the bans as they are out. What do we have so far? We've got Freya, Mercury, and Noir going Boom Squad and Rambozos. Rambozos will ban Geb. I love the Geb ban. Geb is fun. Geb is interesting. Geb is cool. But Geb is very good, and it limits a lot. So I like the Geb ban. We're going to see Athena Apollo lane coming out for Rambozos.
Yeah, I definitely want that lane, and I guess they like the Athena Apollo dynamic when Geb's not in the game, because that seems very manicured from the Rambozos. Remember,
Right.
This is a team that likes set strategies, likes timings. They have a very specific jungle invade that they like to do every game on the speed buff. I just want to mention, this is a fun little fact, F-Dot, that you're not aware of. Boom Squad is an AU team. They're Australian.
Really?
Yeah, they're coming out to play in the North American Challenger Cup because North America is closer than Europe. And they're just gonna come play, have some fun. We'll probably be playing with pretty rough ping, but
Right.
It's all about the spirit of competition. I am really excited to see what this team has to offer. Poseidon in the middle lane is not something we see too often, but I think he does still have a place. He's a little bit similar to Kukulkan, but with more potential for rotation.
Yeah, I agree with that. The name is messed up. That is a Thor locked in, not a Hades. Just putting that out there, folks. But Poseidon, I feel like, is interesting. I feel like he does have a lot, but because Aegis exists, Aphrodite doesn't exist in this game, but would have been a fit. There it is. That is the pickup you need. Aphrodite can counter Poseidon the same way Aegis can. Without an Aphrodite and just an Aegis in the game, Poseidon can still be extremely effective with his burst. You just need to bait out the Kraken. You need to bait out those Aegises. Once the Aphrodite ultimate comes into play, it becomes a little more precarious. And this to me is one of the big differences between a team that's really studied and practiced in the picks ban phase and one that's not. This third round ban after Poseidon pick should have undoubtedly been the Aphrodite, because there is not a harder counter in the game to Poseidon than Aphrodite.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is an unconventional pick, but it is something that we've seen Meerkat play before, so I think I want to chalk it up to not being familiar with the Rambozos, which is one of the hardest things about the Challenger Cup. Is
Wait. Aphrodite's unconventional?
Now I'd say she is. We do not see her that often. Like, she's lower on the list of stuff you put in the solo lane. Like we see Chaac, we see Baka, you see Yanis in the solo lane more often than Aphrodite.
It's not a Bacchus solo lane, okay?
Baka. It's not Bacchus solo, yeah. But it's like, it's lower on that list. It's
of
rare.
Course. Yes.
It's not back when Aphrodite was top pick. The other thing I want to mention, Afro-Kali synergy is insane.
Yeah.
There's one downside, which is the fact that Aphrodite is like one of the worst unintentional kill stealers in the game, because birds do a lot of damage. They last for like 3 seconds. They will take kills from out of under Kali's nose and can potentially mess up her passive. But everything else is amazing. You add a slow to Kali, which is really handy. You give her an ultimate to keep her in the fight for a little bit longer. You heal her up to keep her in the fight for a little bit longer. You increase her damage, and that increases the damage from Shin size, I'm pretty sure, by 20%. If Flareboot's still in the chat, I'm sure he'll say something. It's
Cret with the reverse
overall, it's Flareboot's the mechanics guy, like.
And no, just recently in the SPL broadcast, Bart mentioned something about stats and said, I'm sure Kret's in the chat, he will say something, and we just turned it around, and I'm sure Flareboot's in the chat will say something. It is the never-ending train of mechanics and numbers. That said, the game is much more than mechanics and numbers. There are a lot of individual plays.
There's addition.
Kret, just stop. There's a lot of other things coming out in play, and that's exactly what we're going to take a look at. Stay tuned. We're going to cut to the action. Rambozos vs. Boom Squad, right here. Smite Game 2. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Boom Squad versus Rambozos is the match in round 3, the round of 16 that we're going to be looking at. This is, of course, the North American Challenger Cup, week 6 of 7 weeks. We have a lot of our, this week should be a rather interesting one as far as the standings are concerned. Rambozos, our number 1 team overall, have a short lead over Vicious and Delicious, who are our number 2 seed. It should be an exciting game. As we said, Boom Squad is from Australia, so they are going to be battling a little ping. But here we get to see 2 sides of the Challenger Cup, Cret. We have the teams that are contending to get into the SPL and really make a name for themselves. Rambozos with Thirst and Fat Chunks on the bottom really have a real shot to make it into the SPL. Yeah. And then the other side, we have Boom Squad, just players that want to get some competitive experience, have some fun, and enjoy the community aspect of our game right here. So why don't you go ahead and introduce our Blue Squad?
All right, Bloom Squad is going to be Wields playing on her in the ADC role. Top Notch will be your support. Ymir in the jungle. It's Chilled on Thor. In the middle lane, it's going to be N-Quad 1-0 on Poseidon. In the solo lane, it's Glam Hadriel 2U1 on Loki. That last name is a mouthful. There's one thing I want to mention. I don't hate the teleport on Loki solo. I feel like there is a place for shielded teleport in the solo lane meta. You have to know how to rotate with it. There's a lot of potential. You have to play it right, and it looks like there will be invade, but I don't. He needs to use this level 1 teleport very specifically, and I think it is to get to a solo lane after this invade coming forward. They will be spotted out on a ward, but it might still be enough. They're gonna level 1 Gold Fury. They're going to level 1 Gold Fury. I am so hyped right now. They're going to level 1 Gold Fury after using the pillar to block it in.
Unfortunately, we're found out by the ward.
Rambozos, get it! Chris Pocket! Wow.
Chris Pocket earning his stripes right here. He might go down. In fact, he definitely will go down if he doesn't get that preemptive strike off. Good, amazing pillar coming out. Not so much amazing play from Loki, and that's going to be a save Chris Pocket.
Oh my god.
So not only does Chris Pocket steal the level 1 Gold Fury, but he gets out with his life. Rambozos already off to a start. You know, I love it from Boom Squad. I love it, and that's that's why the teleport came out, Cret. They did the level 1 Gold Fury, and Loki went right to lane. I love the thought process. It's just really unfortunate that Rambozos had the Gold Fury awarded at 0 minutes for no reason.
Who awards Gold Fury at 0 minutes for no... You know, whatever. Like, it worked out for them. It is unfortunate that Chris Pocket could have won the lottery, and instead he hog stole level 1 Gold Fury. But, you know, you take your luck where you can get it. Left mid camp is going to go down. Oh, Meerkat is going to find a kill onto Loki in the solo lane. Unsurprising in that not getting that level 1 gold is really going to put Loki in a very tough position.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to put them in a tough position.
It was an all-in strat.
I love the decision coming out from Boom Squad, honestly, to do that. They, as we said, they're battling ping, they're battling a very strong team, and you want to get all the bonus that you can, Cret. And if you can start off with a 1,500 gold lead, that's not a bad look.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, I think there definitely could be some intricacies if we see more of these plays coming out. There are definitely problems with getting hog on your mid laner that aren't... It's not necessarily going to be awful, but it could be really bad. Level 5 Grishank. This is going to be a dead Poseidon. They have everything they need to dive. Not going to need to use that ultimate anyway. And going down. This game is probably going to go very, very far south very quickly for Boom Squad because they didn't succeed with an all-in strategy.
Right. Their jungle buffs get sort of taken. Giannis rotating over from the middle lane into the duo lane. Boom Squad Wields will fall, and Boom Squad Top Notch will also fall. This time to the hand of Grishank on that Kali. You know, let's talk about this because this actually, a lot of times, Cret, we see sort of cheeky plays, to use a word from across the pond, where teams do interesting strategies and sort of trolling's the wrong word, but just for fun. This level 1 Gold Fury with the teleport on the solo lane Loki with the hog in the middle lane. I like it. This was
solo lane Meerkat could be in trouble. Will use his birds properly. Damage coming out from Thor, but it's not going to be enough. Only level 4 there in the middle lane. Poseidon is dying. Anyway, I like the idea. It didn't work, and that sucks. And y'all need to realize that this really is like an all-in strategy. It's like 6 pooling in StarCraft. Like, it either succeeds and you win, or it fails, and you really probably don't. So they're gonna be trying to pick up the pieces. Nice pillar stun coming on the left-hand lane. Paradox could be taking a lot of damage here, but I mean, that pillar stun, if the levels were even, would have been a kill. Because they're not, Boom Squad is gonna have to play astonishingly well to come back. Also, this is an Aussie team. I don't know how he gets a pillar stun on Aussie ping. That's amazing. Like, that is unreal.
I mean, Australian players have been playing with overseas ping for the
adjust.
entire length that Smite has been out. I mean, Customs, I don't know about prominent, but Customs, a friend of mine, a member of the community, casted a couple of things. He's been playing on Aussie ping and is a decent player. So, you know, you could do it. It's just definitely an uphill battle. Not the same as anything else. Right mid camps go to Rambozos, and Ymir's rotating over to the left ones. They might go... This is actually up in the air. These are going to go to Rambozos. Ymir's going to spot that out and head back. You know,
he'll die. He'll die if he tries and gets them by himself. I mean, there's just so much map control in favor of the Rambozos. They're sitting up 4,500 gold. They actually are getting more than 1,000 GPM over their opponents. That's
so the Hunter,
crazy.
So the Hunter on Boom Squad doesn't have Hog. Gonna see aggression in the middle lane, good stun, and Aduro's gonna go ahead and pick up that kill on the Giannis. Zero is gonna fall down. That's gonna be Poseidon. Third death of the game already, just about 5 minutes underway. But so let's look at this strategy. Hunter's the only character that doesn't have Hog, right?
And it's on her for a reason. You can pillar block the Gold Fury. He got that at level 1, so they have a way to tank it. So
Poseidon versus what physical god that can play mid can do similar damage to a Gold Fury as Poseidon? A lot. Like, Whirlpool isn't that much at level 1,
It's not the Whirlpool, it's the Trident.
It's the Trident. That does a lot of damage.
That's incredible damage.
It's 3 basic attacks.
Not yet. It's gonna be, I think it's around, well, let's see, it's rank 1. So it's gonna add 60 damage per hit, last 6 seconds. So that's 60 times, it's 360 damage at rank 1. That's a lot.
Yeah. You know, because I was just postulating as we see a gank over in the left-hand side. Apollo's going to try and ult to get out of there, and he's going to be successful on that, but he's going to ult in there as Paradox picks up the kill onto Top Notch. 2 more members picked up by the Janus hole, and Wheels is going to go back to lane, and they're going to look for their second Gold Fury of the game. Rambozos was gifted one in the first minute, and they're just going to pick up one in the 6th. No real contention as Meerkat picks up the solo kill in the solo lane. That tower is already down, folks, but yeah, with the gank in the solo lane. But you know, I like this idea. I really like this idea, but you got to make the 4 Hogs work, because Hog on a mage I don't really like. I'd love to see a physical mid and in turn like a Freya Hunter or something, but that pillar is so important. Because I like the idea of 4 Hogs on the team. I love the idea of a level 1 Gold Fury if you could spot it out. But the problem is, as we get a taunt onto the duo lane, Boom Squad taking a lot of damage here on that Hunter roll. Ultimate coming out from on her. Still half HP is Wheels. He wants to just turn and fight, but Paradox just a little bit too high. Level 10 to Onher's level 7. So even with the bonus damage on the shifting stance, gonna go ahead and fall to the wayside. But one of the biggest problems with the strategy crit is 4 Hogs seen on the scoreboard exposes your hand.
It does, and you know what? I don't want to say I hate the Hog on Poseidon. I think it is obviously not ideal, but it gives you a few little bit of like cheesy options, sort of like Fist into Kraken, right? It gives you a little bit of self-peel, and I think Poseidon, because he's so fast, can do a little bit better without 2 actives than some of the other mages. So I feel like this is actually really, really well thought out by Boom Squad. Chris Pocket literally just won the lottery. Like,
yeah, no, I
don't know how he's still.
I 100% agree.
Actually, you know what?
This is definitely a well thought out plan.
It's the perfect composition. You've got maybe the Thor. Maybe the Thor is their flex pick, but like on her for the pillar block, Ymir for the auto attack damage, Poseidon for the auto attack damage, Loki for the backstab.
Well, the thought process behind the Thor is the free passive damage by grouping up as 5 for Berserker Barrage.
No, it's only with enemies though.
Rip.
Yeah. So I feel like jungle's like the flexible pick. There might be something that works really well, but I think Thor is going to be able to transition that gold lead, and so assuming they get it, they can use their Thor and the little bit of early experience and gold onto him to start winning across the map, and that's the idea behind the Thor. I really would have loved to see a regame and just see it work, but oh man.
Yeah, I mean,
somebody call the chunks.
Realistically, Kret, if Boom Squad had started off with that Gold Fury, it would have put the lanes in a much better position. As we highlighted, the teleport would have been fantastic. Paradox goes up. Paradox is going to come back down as he did last time, but taunted out of the Apollo ultimate, and Paradox almost falls. Chris Pocket having a little bit of fun with his Hunter right there. Zero trying to make something happen, just not quick enough to get to the enemy Hunter. Apollo going to make it out, and we're going to see Poseidon fall to the wayside one more time. 9 minutes in, 13-0 going the way of Rambozos.
Jeez.
Lots of map control, also leading in all of the categories. 10,000 gold, I didn't read that wrong. That's 10,000 gold and 17,000 experience. So Boom Squad suffering a lot from that initial drop of the Gold Fury.
And we have seen similar situations to this, not recently, but in the past. 5-man invades gone horribly wrong, result in roughly, ooh, Yanis ultimate not going to connect. Sneaky Duro. Anyway, yeah, 5-man invades gone horribly wrong. This is a little reminiscent of that, right? Like, every so often you're like, yeah, we're going to 5-man invade, then you forget that they have a Thor, and he just uses his passive and kills everyone. And then this happens. And so this game, at this point, is how cleanly can Rambozos end a game? They're looking pretty clean.
Yes,
they're also like unfightably ahead.
Yeah, and the fact that they have a Kali in that situation is...
Yeah, they could not have gotten luckier with that Kali pick.
Yeah,
like,
Kali already has Chin size chosen, and once you get ahead with Kali, it's pretty much GG. So Kali has those Chin size. This is a very standard build. You're going to see this on almost every Kali as she jumps, and that damage is of course because of the Chin size. Chin size with the percent damage. Kali actually gets, I believe it is 50% more basic attacks due to her attack chain than the average player. So Ymir's gonna go ahead and taunt, freeze, and get hit by everything coming out in the middle lane. Good play coming out from Ymir, accepting his fate. But going back to Kali as she gets a double kill. Chin size does more damage on Kali than other characters. That's why you want to rush it as fast as possible. And Kali sort of can function off of Chin size damage alone. You'll scale off of Incense and other damage, and Lash most notably, but it's about that Chin's damage, Kret.
It really is, and Kali's going to be... So, I mean, basically what happens is because of the huge early advantage now being transitioned into a Fire Giant, which might actually be a little bit hard. I think the damage from Rambozos is deceptively high because Kali's actually... Yeah, I mean, Chin size is great. It's one of the highest DPS items. It doesn't work on Fire Giant. If it did, though, you would see Kali soloing it. They will be able to get the Fire Giant. They will be able to get the Fire Giant, losing most of their health. And actually, a Yanis ultimate that turns out to be a gank as well. Loki can be able to walk away. That's a really fast Aphrodite. Forced to use the Assassinate. Good timing there. Gold Fury play coming out from Boom Squad. They might be able to get this. The thing is, they might not have enough damage. At the very least, it shows good shot calling. I would love to see how this team performs in an Australian tournament now that we do have AU servers in our custom matches. Kraken is going to be nicely jumped by Grishank, and he'll probably get 1v4 Quadra here. But
we'll see, actually. This is a good fight to see how well Grishank's going to do it. The ultimate out gets the target. That's going to be a full heal. With the Fire Giant buff, here comes Athena, going to aggress onto Poseidon. Great taunt coming out, and Chris Pocket steals that kill. And 1 for the support.
Top notch now. He's in such a bad spot. Oh, run!
He's gonna go ahead and turn around on that nuclear winner skin. He's gonna go ahead and wave to the team, say hello.
Oh,
Rambozos gonna go in. Of course, it's the Paradox. The one gotta go ahead and dive. Oh, he just wanted to wave his green hand out. It seems that Boom Squad have sort of accepted their fate. Not gonna F6. They still want to go ahead and give up a show. Yeah. Not trolling at the same time. Rambozos honestly. Real talk, I like this play coming out because it's giving Rambozos respect. It's saying, look, you can destroy us. How clean can you beat us? How well can you do? And you know how
exactly.
It's giving them practice on a real tournament level basis on how to close games.
Yeah,
and I respect that.
What's really cool is that there are a lot of situations where people would be like, oh my god, we're down 10,000, or they're down 10,000 gold at 6 minutes in, why don't they have 6? But Boom Squad is actually playing this. Like, they're doing the best that they can to stay alive, and Rambozos are playing it too clean for Boom Squad to basically recover. I mean, I think at this point it would actually take a miracle for them to come back, and that's fine. But Boom Squad, like, they're doing all the right moves. They're trying to turtle, they're trying to play defensive, they're looking for ganks and picks, but they don't generally have enough damage to get a kill, as they haven't yet in this game. When Rambozos go for Fire Giant and it's identified there are 5 people on the right hand side of the map, so Boom Squad calls a 4-man Gold Fury. They get the Gold Fury. Like, they're making the right moves. It's just the right moves aren't working because the Rambozos are also making the right moves, and they win at this point.
Yeah, like, Rambozos, just reminding our viewers at home, if you're caught the broadcast a little bit late, Rambozos is the #1 seed overall over 6 weeks. This is the 6th week. Yeah. Over 6 weeks of competition, this team has been the #1. Not only winning this tournament, Grishank did suffer 10 points to the Ymir and the Poseidon. Really like that. But so Rambozos are the #1 seed overall. Not exactly winning every single tournament, but definitely coming up on top of seed points. Boom Squad, they are on Australian ping, so there's a little bit of a differential between these two teams. Rambozos definitely the favorite going in here and sitting pretty 14 minutes in by about 16,000, 17,000 gold in the lead. This is sort of the expected outcome, but, you know, Boom Squad putting up a fight, having a lot of fun right here on the Challenger Cup. This is what we're here for, folks. We're as much competitive Smite as we are community interaction. So it's a fun little in-between right here as Aduro picks up another kill on the Loki. Gonna ignore the right Phoenix for these kills. I think they want to just go for the win here, Kret. They're gonna kill it. They're gonna kill the enemy and try to get in there. That said, turning around is the Boom Squad picking up their 3rd kill of the match.
Yeah, but it's about to be turned around again. Nice 2-man taunt through the portal. Unstable Vortex is gonna find those kills nice and easy, and now Wields could be in a lot of trouble as Chris Pocket auto-attacking down. Looks like left Phoenix probably taking long portal. Paradox dives in the base, but not gonna find the damage he wants. Now Rambozos is having a little bit of fun with it too. That's a meditation on Paradox, so he can ult across the map and still be okay. Honestly, I want to say that meditation isn't completely troll. It did save him about 4 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the strategies change as games change, and
sure.
it's always, like, as we said with the teleport's not always the right decision to go. But if you're going to level 1 Gold Fury with your soul in or on that side of the map, teleport's the way to go. Strategies are interchangeable. You want to keep that in mind and always stay in the lead. Grishank's going to pick up a chill. Top Notch, unfortunately, gets exploded into little pieces to the minions. And this should be the Titan, ladies and gentlemen. Grishank aggressing all by his lonesome. Waiting for his team to come here and kill the Titan right here.
Thor is back up, and Thor is back up in the air. Will land on Grishank. Nice mez from the Paradox, and so much damage. Like, I actually thought that was going to be a really good mez coming out from them there. But the Titan will end up falling. Boom Squad were not able to find their level 1 Gold Fury, and the game just went so horribly wrong from there. They got 4 kills, they played well, they had a really well thought out strategy, and I loved what I saw. I hope to see them again, and hopefully if there are AU tournaments cropping up, that this team will come out and perform, because that level of thought is really impressive.
Yeah, I like I said, I like the thought. We saw, you know, all the builds look correct. Loki building into Heartseeker with the early fist. I always like that. I honestly like the Transcendence Devo build on her. Might not be the greatest situationally, but at a certain point, maybe mentally the towel was thrown in. But honestly, the Transcendence Devo build is something that I like. Doesn't always pan out because of the amount of time it takes to come online. But mentally, I feel like this team was there. It just didn't pan out, as we said. Top-seeded Rambozos move on to round 4. That'll be the round of 8.
And so what I want to explain here is I want to draw a parallel to StarCraft, because that was basically a 6 pool, right? It's a Zerg rush strategy. It's trying to get a super early advantage that catches your opponent off guard. And oftentimes in StarCraft, even though your opponents haven't killed any of your buildings, when your Zerg rush fails, when your 6 pool or your cannon rush fails, you can tell all they have to do is follow this little checklist and they will win the game. Try and stick it out. And so a lot of times StarCraft players will surrender when that happens. Boom Squad said, well, maybe they don't follow the checklist right. Maybe we can take some things back. And to their credit, they got Gold Fury, they got 4 kills. That's a lot more than I really expected to see coming off the way that Rambozos were playing. Really well played, and mad respect.
And all in all, you know, they kept in the game, and it looked like they were having fun out there, which like I said, there's 2 different teams, 2 different types of teams that come out. And at the end of the day, we're here because we all like the game. So I love to see players that continue to remember why they show up to the tournaments, and that's exactly what we saw. Again, I hope to see them in some Australian tournaments, maybe next week at the Challenger Cup. Hopefully not up against as stiff competition as the Rambozos, who will move on to the round of 8, and we'll see how they fare in the rest of the tournament. We're going to move on to our next matches. Grab a drink, but stay tuned. We'll be back very soon with some more Smite action.